I did what he didn't want me to do. And I asked him, what did you expect me to do? You were fetching me from work every second day. I'm falling. I'm fainting. I'm this. I'm that. I'm this. I ended up losing my job because I lost my job. I lost my baby. I kept asking myself, what more am I supposed to lose?
Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self-love, and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. This episode was sponsored by a Hydro Quench water to keep us hydrated. And it was also sponsored by E2 Hair Studios. A big shout out to E2 Hair Studios. It was also sponsored by Crowned Lioness. They're busy dressing me up and I'm looking so cute today. And also it was sponsored by Virtuous Indoni Lodge. That's where I actually lay my head down so that I can think proper, you understand? And then just digest all these episodes that we're busy doing here. And also, the face beat is by yours truly, the one and only Manish Pikara. Anyway, we're going to go straight into our episode for today. I have a guest sitting right next to me, and I'm going to allow our guest to introduce ourselves, and then we'll go straight into the episode of today. Hi, my darling.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Please introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Thula Matlari. That's my married surname, but my maiden surname is Dlamini. I was born in Durban, KZN. Moved to Johannesburg with my parents, my adopted parents, at the age of 8. Lived here in Joburg, went to school in Joburg. Grew up in a community of, I wouldn't say whites because my family were mixed race, so they're coloureds. But grew up in the coloured community with them, and then grew up and decided, let's go and see what life has to offer us. And we went out there and we decided, let's see what life has to give. And life gave, hey?
Hey,
Life gave.
life will give, hey? But anyway, okay, it's nice to meet you, my darling.
Thank you very
So,
much.
during the time when you're saying that you moved this side when you were like 8,
Yes.
before that, were you staying with your adopted family back in Durban?
Yes.
Oh, so your whole life, that's the only family that you know?
Yes.
How did you then get to find out that you were adopted?
I mean, they light-skinned, I'm dark-skinned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they were honest with you about it from the get-go? Okay.
Yes. Growing up, it was difficult in the sense that going to school at home, we never really, saw the difference. It was always just, light skin, dark skin, and it is what it is. But when I went to school, did grade 1, that's when I started to actually pick up on the differences. Why? Because kids
are mean.
Yes, kids can be mean. So they used to bully my younger sister, and she'd always be like, "I'm gonna tell my sister," and then the sister comes, and then boom, she's black. And the kids would laugh and be like, "How is she your sister?" And then I guess they got to a space where they just needed to have to tell me that, listen, this is what's happening. On terms of my biological parents, I would never know.
And you're okay with not knowing? Or it's another story for another day?
Like, at this point, I wouldn't say I'm okay not knowing, but at the same time, I wouldn't say I am. Because I have learned that my mom has now passed away. And she passed away actually a lot later than what I was told.
Sure. So there was a time where you thought she had passed away, but she was actually alive.
My parents, my family told me not that she had passed away. And then I went through a process here, and then, in that process, I actually got to learn that, yes, she did pass away, but she passed away when I was already a lot older. So, it does bother me sometimes. My main thing is when I look in the mirror, I always ask myself, I wonder who I look like. I wonder this mannerism that I have, who is it from? When I laugh, because I have the most loudest laugh ever. Like, guys, if I'm laughing, I laugh from my stomach out. And those are questions that I often ask myself. Like, I wonder who I look like. I wonder. But, as time went by, as I say, and everything, I got to actually realize that, wait, I look like my grand because that lady looks a lot like me. I had a dream one day when she came and helped me out of a certain situation, and then she was standing on the side of the road, and I told, because I was with my younger sister in the dream, and I said to her, let's pick up that lady. And we picked her up and she sat in the back, and I looked at her and I said, yo, you look like me, yo. And she laughed and she said, no, I don't look like you. You look like me. So I do wonder sometimes, yes. But I could say that I've made peace with it. Why? Because in this life, there's always two. This is what I always say. There's always two. So I'm going to go and look for them. And there are only two things that could possibly happen. They could possibly say, okay, welcome me into the family and all be dandy. Or they could say, sorry, no.
Yeah.
We done to finish. Thank you very much. We don't need another member in the family. And also, another thing is, okay, in those two situations, how am I going to find them? What happens if I'm looking for a family and then only to find that I'm looking for people that are going to end up depending on me to actually take them out of whatever situation that they're in? When I was just out there looking for my family, now the next thing I found them and found all their problems, all their situations, and now that's on my shoulders now because everyone's like, oh shit, she came back, thank you. So, like, I was just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
God planned it this way. And if it has to be any other way, God will make it that way.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about it as you're sharing that there's actually one guest that we once had on this podcast. That guest is the one who's sitting right there on that chair. She had lost contact with her brother for the longest time before she came to the podcast. But after we recorded her episode and she shared her own story, that's when she reconnected with her brother and they've been in communication since. So they've really rebuilt their relationship. So I'm just saying that so that you understand that podcasting is a big thing, so big that you might end up finding those people. So you need to be ready for anything, But I do believe that also God's timing is always the best. So if it happens, that means it was supposed to happen. And if it doesn't happen, then it was not supposed to happen. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to make it about me and everything. How was life like when you now moved to Joburg?
Oh, life, ne? Tough. Yeah. Tough. It was tough because I was growing up and I was learning about myself and I'm not going to lie and say I was a perfect kid. No, I wasn't, guys. Like, I was far from perfect. I was that child that always, I was a problem child since. And I believe that if I had lived amongst black people, they would have easily seen that, oh no, this one, Dlozi. But I was a problem child. A problem child in the sense of what? I always felt the need to fit in.
Sure.
Right? I don't know if my mother did this because she was trying to safeguard me or what. I don't want to lie. And I seldom went out the house. I was always next to her. So I seldom went out the house. I seldom had friends. Usually the friends that I had were my younger sister's friends. They automatically became my friends. But for me to say I had friends of my own, no, I didn't. My mom was hectic. I don't want to go too much into it, but my mom was very hectic. My dad was a little bit more cool and calm. Both have passed on now. May their souls rest in peace. And I'm happy that in everything that me and my mom went through, we were able to fix it. I think the day my dad passed away, that was for her breaking point because I had moved out of the house. Okay, I'm not gonna lie and say I moved out. I ran away from home. But that's a story for another day, I guess. And so I left home, and it was a while since she saw me. And then I remember I reconnected with them in 2011. By that time, I was already staying here in Ivory Park, and I had already met my husband. We were 1 year in the relationship because we met in 2010. And I went to a cousin's house for Christmas, and I was just freaking out about a lot because nobody told me that mom was going to be there. Everybody just decided to keep that a secret. And then at the last minute, my cousin tells me, your mom's coming. And my mom's sister was there. And I don't want to lie, I freaked out. Like, the look on my face changed, like everything, like I just freaked out. And my aunt even said to me, stop stressing about it. Stop stressing about it. You're older now. Nothing can happen. Stop stressing about it. So, then we met mom, and okay, it was a little bit tense because it was like, oh, you. And she wasn't expecting me. I was expecting her. So I kind of like put a brave face and be like, So, but everything went well that day. And then 2016, my dad passed on. And when he passed on, having lived amongst Black people now, I think I moved to Ivory Park in 2006, if not 7, 8.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I was already now used to living amongst Black people, even though when I got there to the location, because remember, this was me making a transition from living in the suburbs to moving and living in the location with Black people, with people I'm not used to. I do not understand their language. Even a simple hello was like, please can you say that in English? Like, I used to always say that. I can hear you talking to me, but I don't know what you're saying. Even till this day, other people in my hood still think I'm a Nigerian because I speak English. And I always taunt them that Nigerian. What's your problem now? Why you don't tell me to my face? You go talk behind my back, and then they look at me like, and then I laugh about it, and I just carry on walking. Because at first it used to stress me. It can't be stressing me now, So when my dad passed away, because I had now integrated with Black people and learned their ways and learned their lifestyle and how they do things, when my dad passed, I stayed with my mom. Her kids, they came, they went back to their houses. Remember, they coloureds, they don't really
do these cultural things that we do.
Yeah, the same things that we do. They have their own ways, but yeah. So I decided to stay with my mom because I felt like that was as a Black person, I need to stick to my Blackness and stick to me, So I stayed with her, as challenging as that was. And that was just me and her in the house with my other sister, because she had 6 of her own kids. I was the 7th. So as challenging as that was, I stayed with her. And, I cooked, and I stayed with my other sister. My other sister, she has Down syndrome. So, yeah, we stayed together. We talked. I love her to bits. We talked, and, and then time to sleep. Now, mom says to me, no, come sleep next to me. I'm like, okay. Then I slept. We slept in the same bed. And for me, this was abnormal. It was really abnormal because me and mom, it was like water and oil because I was having my own issues as a kid growing up, trying to fit in. Then I take mom's money to go and buy something, and then mom is screaming, stealing my money. And this is like, okay, fine. Sorry. So this for me was abnormal. That mom would say, I must come sleep with her. Okay, fine. I went and I laid with her in the same bed. And we spoke. We spoke, like in-depth conversation. We spoke, and she apologized. In that moment, for me, I felt like maybe she's just apologizing because, she sees that I'm the only one here with her while she's going through this, maybe, But then as time went by, like we apologized, she apologized to me, and she told me, I'm so sorry for everything that I did to you and, the way I treated you. And I also apologized because, as a person, I always say this to people. It takes 2 people, to either mess things up or make them good. It takes two people. So as people, we also need, even if the other party did you wrong, 100%, but let's also now look at us and say, how did I contribute to this person's behavior? And that's what I did. And I realized that, yes, mom was what she was, but there were places in which I also aggravated her to become that person that she was towards me. And I also apologized for my side of it. And I told her, I'm so sorry, mom, for being the horrible child that I was at times. And, and we made peace, me and mom. And I was, at first, it just felt weird. But then when I was sitting at home alone, I stopped and I took a moment and I let it sink in. I let it sink in, and I don't want to lie, I cried for days on end. And in that moment, me crying for those days on end was me crying because why? For the longest time, I accepted an apology that I never received. I just dusted myself off and said, forward we go.
Yeah.
And then when that apology eventually came, it came on top of so much. But when I gave myself time to let it sink in, I don't want to lie, it felt like something heavy just moved off of me and just sat one side and said, okay, I'll sit here. I don't need to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
And that's where it sat. And yes, I'd visit mom and everything. And then mom got sick. After dad died, she didn't take dad's passing very well. So she ended up having a stroke, mom, and ended up having a heart aneurysm. Luckily, my older sister, she was around and she looked after mom. And yes, we as her younger kids, we try to do what we can do for her and everything. But when she passed away, because she was living with my older sister, and then when she passed away, they told us that she passed away. My cousin actually told me that my mom passed away before my older sister could, and I was still at work. I was working at Woolworths at the time at airport as assistant cook. So when they told me, like, it was a lot. I literally got sick. Like, I literally went to the toilet and vomited. And till this day, I'm forever asking myself, why did I vomit so? Like, I didn't cry. I just said, what? And then I got sick. And I just vomited in the toilet at work. And I left work. I called my husband because by then we were married. This was all in 2020. And then I called my husband. He came to pick me up, and then he took me to my sister's house. That same night, I slept over. I had a dream about my mother. She came to visit me in a dream. And in the dream, it's like I was standing looking at myself. I started walking. I was on the streets and I was walking. And I was young. I could see that was me. And I had a school bag. And then I started to run. Then when I get home, I see mom, she's standing there, but I could only see the backside of her. She was wearing this nice floral skirt, and she used to have a skirt like that, but mom was always somebody who preferred wearing pants. But back in the day, she used to wear skirts, and I remember that skirt. She used to have a skirt like that, and she was wearing that skirt, and she was cooking. And then I peeked at her from the door, and she said to me, no, come in. Why are you standing by the door? And then I walked in. Then I said to her, yo, ma, someone tried to kidnap me today. And she laughed, and she said, kidnap you? Why? And then I said, I don't know. And then she's like, go put your bag down. I'm making food. And then I went and I put my bag down. And I came back. When I came back, I hugged her. Because I was so short, I hugged her from her legs. And I looked at her. And she looked at me, and she said to me, I don't ever want you to think that I didn't love you.
Sure.
I don't want you to think that I didn't love you. Everything that was done, I knew that I won't be here. I told my sisters, but I didn't tell them the full dream.
There you go.
I didn't tell them everything she said, but I did tell them a portion of it. But she said to me, because I knew that I won't be here, I needed you to be strong.
Sure.
And my response to her was, thank you. My response in the dream was, thank you, Mama. You didn't leave me by myself, at least. You left me with my sisters. And the dream ended there. I don't want to lie. I woke up in shock, and I woke up screaming, Ma, Ma. Like, I literally felt her in that room. And for me, that was when I knew that, okay, Mama's okay. And wherever she is, maybe she saw that this child lived her whole life thinking that I didn't love her. I can't leave her thinking that. I cannot go and have her with leaving that thought in her mind to think that I didn't love her. So it's a lot, though, because she's not here anymore. Yes, we didn't have a very great relationship, but towards the end, we did try. And I'm grateful to her for that, she took the first step. Because I was never going to take it. I don't want to lie to you. I was never going to take it because I was so scared of Mom. But I'm glad that she took the first step. And yeah, we made peace. And yeah, I wrote, on my dad's funeral, I didn't write a speech. I don't want to lie. I was just lost for words because I had bought him something. I lay-by it actually at work, this other jacket. I put it on lay-by and I was like, okay, this I want to buy for my dad next time, because I was so distant from my family that it was a while since I had seen them. And my younger sister would always call me because she and I kept in contact. And she was in the States at the time. But she'd always call me, tell me, Daddy always asks about you. Please go and visit him. And I'll always say, yeah, I'm going to go. But then work, and then this, and then husband, and then this, something always came up. But the day I decided that, okay, I'm going to go and visit him, I want to go, I lay-by him a jacket. And then I was like, as soon as I take the jacket out, then I'm going to go and visit Dad. I'm going to give him his jacket. And then I get a call a week later, that he passed on.
Sure.
So I was shocked when Dad passed on. And I was filled with so much regret. I was supposed to come and that, like, I didn't even know what to say. I felt like me standing on that pulpit and talking is going to be me being pretentious. I felt like it's going to be too pretentious. Because at the time that he needed me to be there, I was not there. And now all of a sudden I'm going to stand on the pulpit and say what? What am I going to say?
Is your own guilt, maybe. Yeah.
So I didn't write a speech for Dad. I didn't say anything for Dad. But for Mom, I felt like I really needed to say something. And I did. And I was happy that I wrote the speech that I wrote for her. And I said what I needed to say for her. And I released her from my heart with peace, love, and happiness. And I was happy about that our relationship was mended. Yes, we didn't get enough time, but it was mended. And I was happy for that.
Yeah, sure. And I do believe that things like that actually help you, when you move forward with life now.
Yes.
It feels lighter.
Yes.
You start taking these steps and you feel like, okay, it's not as heavy as it was in the past when I would take the steps.
Yes.
Sure.
I always say that in this life, we need to learn that nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Because sometimes we walk around with this thing, this feeling, self-entitlement, that you're entitled to this and they should have done this and they should have done, not realizing that ain't nobody needed to do anything. And everything that they are doing, say thank you, because they don't have to be doing it, but they are.
Yeah.
My mother didn't have to take me, but she did. I'm not saying the treatment was 100%. Hey, in this life, where will you find 100%? Unless you living with a billionaire and still you're going to complain, he's never around. You get what I mean? So, hey, we live, we learn, and we grow. We grow, and in growth comes change. And in change comes understanding of self and others around you. And the minute you can learn to live a life without expectations, that's when you're going to be living your happiest life.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be doing something good for Madam Speaker, I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. Not because Madam Speaker tomorrow, now she's going to connect me to this and this and this and this. You see, if now I'm doing it because of that, I'm going to be disappointed because tomorrow I come to Madam Speaker say, no, sorry, I can't help you. And then you're like, no, that's not how this life works. And the minute we can wire our brains to understand that everything is a gift, everything, then you become more grateful for certain things, even the hardships.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie, this life has been hard. I feel like I have been fighting since the day I was born. Like I feel like I fight for 10 years just to get 2 minutes of happiness.
Oof.
But when that 2 minutes of happiness comes, it's worth it. Because why? I understand the hardship that I had in order to get there.
Yeah. Sure. Hi, Kiel. We can say church is out. We can pass the offering basket. You have said a mouthful. Earlier on, you had said that you moved into the township and then you learned the township way or the black way of doing things, and you had a significant other during that time.
Yes.
And I do believe that obviously that person contributed to you learning the black way of doing things and everything. How was that like?
No, actually, he found me when I was already a little bit clued up.
Okay.
Because I got here, as I say, in 2006, between 2006 and 8, I'm not really sure exactly where. And when I got here and I moved and I stayed with another woman. Her name is Mom Hazel, love her to the end of the earth. Naya, she's my mom. I call her mom. And I moved in with her. And everything we talked to, and until one day she looked at me and she's like, hi, Nkosi yami. I'm Zwile. Me, I'm tired of you, Shem. I'm going to talk to you in Zulu and then you'll answer me in your English. I'm like, huh? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And that's how I learned. And yes, my Zulu is not perfect. I do bite my tongue here and there. But you know, the nice, funny thing is what? The nice thing, and it's funny, the thing as well is this. I learned how to speak Zulu. I picked up how to speak Pedi and Sutu. And that I picked up because people were forever gossiping about me. And you know that thing of you can't hear what you're saying, but you can feel that,
It's me.
that tea they sipping is about me.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up learning that language, and then also Sutu. So, and Xhosa. I don't know how to speak Xhosa fully, but I can hear most of the actually most of the African languages, vernac, I can hear. It's just a few that I have difficulty speaking. So yeah, I learned. So my husband, he found me already biting my tongue in terms of language. I am a vocalist. Well, back then I was. Let me just say was, because
Okay.
it's been a while since I last done that. And we had a mutual friend, and this mutual friend, he was doing hip hop, and I said, you know what, I need a house producer. So his friend introduced me, and then, okay, nice guy. We did music. After a while, it was like, you know, and I was like, okay, cool. You know, I'm 21, 22. It's not like I have much to do. So yeah, and we got together. I'm not gonna lie. He's in general, he's a nice guy. He does have his narcissistic traits, like he does. I don't want to lie to you. And when I say narcissistic traits, I mean, there was a time when he was unemployed, right? And I was working. And I'd go to work, come back home from work, find the house, like dishes still in the sink. He didn't even bother to take out his share. Like, and then when I'd ask him, I'd be like, babe, you mean to tell me you couldn't even wash the dishes? You know what his answer to me would be? I didn't say go and look for a job. I didn't say work. We spoke about this. Because I remember telling him I want to get a job, and then he said to me, as long as it's not going to affect your duties as the woman of the house. And I don't want to lie to you. I picked up my big girl panties and I said, okay, it is what it is. And then, come back from work, remove my shoes, wash dishes. But he was there the whole day.
So
That's
what
the
about
type
his
of man he
weight?
is.
What about his husband duties then in this case?
What about? Oh no, he was fulfilling his husband duties.
Of providing.
Yes, partially.
Okay.
Why? Because he had a business of registering companies. I remember one day we went to Pretoria and we went to go and register companies. And I stopped and I asked him, I looked at him and I said to him, okay, since you don't want to work, what must happen? Then he's like, nah, I told you I'm going to do business. And I said to him, okay, do you think you can register companies? And then he's like, yeah, well, if I give it a try, I'm sure I could. Then I was like, okay, you should try it. And then he's like, okay, I planted the seed. He did it. It worked. It worked. So for the longest time, we were living off of that money. He'd pay rent, and then whatever else he couldn't, I'd patch.
Okay.
I'd buy here and there. And my main thing was I'd buy us clothes because he would look after the house things. And then if I see, okay, fine, this month his share was not that much, then because I was working at Woolworths and we were getting stuff at staff price. So I could never really see why is it a must for us to be buying at Pick and Pay when we can just be buying here. So yeah. And then I would then buy us clothes. It wasn't an agreement that we sat and said, okay, you buy this. No, it was just something that I thought, okay, no, at least that's something I can do. Since he's unemployed, no, man, his shoes don't look okay. Let me buy him a pair of shoes. Or his underwear doesn't, let me buy him some underwear, that type of stuff. I do not count those things and I do not regret doing those things because at the time, I was okay doing them. I'm not going to now say because things have turned sour. No. At the time I was doing it, I was happy doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, fast forward, him and I, we together for 9 years. He tells his mom that he wants to get married. His mother's like, nope, she don't like me. That's another story. For another. Guys, I've got so many stories. I always tell people this, my life is a movie, and people never understand what I mean, but my life is a movie. This is stuff you'd only see in the movies. So his mom, me and her, we don't really have a good relationship. She don't like me because I'm trying to take her son away, and her son is the last born, and he must stay at the house, and he, you know how it goes in Betty culture. I'm sorry if I'm being stereotypical. I'm
You're not
sorry.
being. It's the truth.
But yeah, that's how it was. And then I left. No, I told him, no, we need to go and, make our own life. Like, okay, this is your house. You'll come back to it when the time is right. But for so long, like, it's tough. It's tough. Every time when I want to cook for him now, I'm being told, no, he doesn't like it like this. He likes it like this. And hello, I spent 9 years with this man. This man always tells me he doesn't want gravy. He doesn't want his meat dunked in gravy. Please fry the meat. And now, Mama, you're telling me I must put the meat in the gravy. He doesn't like it. Now we're arguing. Put it in the gravy. Me, I take it out the gravy. Put it in the take it out. Are you serious?
So it was like that bad.
I got tired. I got tired. I said to him,
the color in you came out, girl.
Can we just move, please, before my speaker goes boo? I said to him, can we go and try and get a life for ourselves? And he was all for it, Shem. I don't want to lie. He was all for it. He's like, yeah, no, we got to go and do our own thing. So, yeah, his mom didn't like me because I was trying to take her child away. So when he initially initiated marriage, that was 2 years in the relationship. He was like, I love you so much. I want to get married to you. 2 years in the relationship. His mom was like, Abomalume babis. Bomalume, they were busy for 7 years. Bomalume,
I'm recovering from flu, so hey, when I went to send me back there.
Bomalume, they were busy 7 years. 7. Until he got married and he's like, no, me, I'm going to go and ask other people gay. He's somebody also in Tayo. Mzalwane. Our life was okay. I don't want to lie. That guy found me in a certain stage in my life, and I was young. And me, I've never been that type of person who likes things, because I grew up not liking things. So me now, seeing all of this, like, oh, okay, this is not for me. Me, I don't like things. So when I got with him, it was like, amen, And our relationship was, it had its ups and downs. Me being the dominant person that I am, I'm very vocal, because after I left home, I always, as I said to myself, I will never and never again allow somebody to shut my voice. I will never, ever again allow somebody to disrespect me. Those are the things I told myself when I packed my bags and left home, that I leave all of that here at this doorstep. Now I speak up for myself. So I was somebody who was very vocal. I believe communication is key in everything. Sometimes, yes, I didn't communicate in the best ways due to the fact that, like, I have a hot temper. I have a temper. I don't want to lie. I do. But our relationship was okay. You know, he took me to school because I hadn't finished my matric. He took me to school, paid for it. Hi, I'm not going to lie and say our relationship was bad. No. For the most part, it was good. For the most part. The only time things started to become sour is when there was people's interference within our relationship. Spiritual interferences as well within our relationship. Now things started to become funny between us. Now things started to become strange between us. But then again, it is what it is. You know, me, I always live with that thing. It is what it is. And if it's supposed to change, it will. So yeah, fast forward to 2019. 2017, we broke up. Why? I initiated the breakup. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, oh no, it's because he was bad to me. No, I met somebody on a bus home, and I spoke to this person, and this person just captivated me so much so that I wanted to find out, like, what would it be like to be with and I didn't want to have to cheat on him. So I sat him down and I told him, I'm leaving. Why? And I was honest with him because I met somebody on the bus, and it's been a few days now that I've been meeting this person on the bus. And
you actually did what boys usually do. They don't exactly what you did. That's what men do when they find somebody else that they like. They don't think twice. They just follow their hearts. So big ups to you for that part.
So yeah, I did that. And shame, because he was in contact with my younger sister a lot. And my younger sister told me, no, Shem, he's not taking it very well. You know, he calls every day. And yeah, well, that relationship didn't work out very well. It didn't work out.
Actually, when you choose your happiness and you leave the one you're with, it never really works out. They always, that's what people...
This is what I always say. The grass looks green on the other side, and only because there's somebody pooing on it.
Sure.
That's why it looks green.
And sometimes that green, which looks like grass, is actually cow dung.
Feces. Yes. That seriously though, I always tell people, guys, check the grass. Jump over the wall and check it before you go there and start cancelling everything. Check the grass, because you might find it's just full of cow dung, full of feces, full of manure, full of fertilizer. So please be careful. So yeah, it didn't work out, and I went back. And he welcomed me back. He's like, okay, cool. You know, I love you. I love you so much. And, you know, I don't see myself with anybody else but you. So yeah, we got back together. That was 2018, early 2018. And then we decided, okay, we're going to get married. Let's just stop playing around. In the process of me being away, he got his job back. His old job back where he was working. But then when I came back, he's like, I got retrenched. And I even one day said to him, notice how every time I move away from your life, you prosper. And the minute I come back, it's like everything goes down the drain. I feel like I'm the one blocking your blessings. I don't want to lie. For the longest time, I felt like that. But then somewhere along the line, something came to me to say, no, man. Nah, I'm not blocking his blessings. Me, God's favorite. No, it can't be me. No, it cannot. But yeah, but that's how it was. Every time when I moved away from him, he'd prosper. 2017, because he already had a piece of land when we got together. It was a piece of land when we got together in 2010. The way he puts it, his father bought him that piece of land. his father bought him that piece of land. So his name is on the title deed and everything. And there were rooms there already built. Then in 2017, when I left, there was a certain person that he was trying to do business with. And then I had my preservations about this person. And then when I left 2017, he decided, no, let me carry on. Then it was like, okay, cool. When I came back, how? You've got the whole building up already. Mind you, I already knew the building was going to be up. Why? Because we had sat countless amount of times together drawing this stuff on paper. Baby, this is how it's going to be. No, babe, but why don't we do this? And yeah, what? And we sat down and we spoke about it. And I said to him, babe, why don't you bring Santon to the hood? And then he's like, what do you mean? And I explained to him, like, half of the time, like, we're tired of bathing in a dish. You know, let's do something fancy. And he was like, do you think? I said, yeah, people will. And then, yeah, I guess we sat down and, we'd always sit and draw this. Yeah, it's going to be like this and be like this and be like this and be like this. And then I left 2017. I came back 2018. The building was already erected. I'm like, oh, okay, nice. I got into business with that person. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, it's your things. It's your shandies. Me, I'm not going to get involved. Do you, Me, I'm a strong believer in allowing people to do what makes them happy. I always say this. I do not want one day while I'm sleeping in my deepest sleeps, I end up waking up and find you looking at me like this and thinking, oh my God, you're stopping me from living my best life. I don't want to be that person. I don't want somebody to look at me and say, oh gosh, if I hadn't met up with this person, then I would have been so far in life. No. So I was like, if it makes you happy, then amen. Go ahead and do it, babe. Whether I have preservations about it or not. Anyway, you did it. It's already here. It's not like we can demolish the thing. So then, fine. Fast forward 2019, we get married on the 7th of December. It rained the whole day.
Sure.
Like the whole day. It rained. There was a portion of my wedding where I didn't have shoes because the heels that I was wearing were killing my feet. Bear in mind, this time now, it's already now starting Dlozi things, whereby my feet are jamming. I can't do this. I can't do that. Since 2014. It started 2014. And then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. So on my wedding day as well, I couldn't wear shoes because I was wearing the heels and I swear my feet were literally burning underneath. So I took my shoes off and I just carried on my wedding with no shoes. And that was the happiest day of my life. Mainly because I felt like I was marrying my friend. Him and I, we shared so much in common. We both loved movies. We were both gamers. He even said, wow, a girl who's a gamer, like, yo, this is my first. I love like games. And I felt that we were good for each. Even now, let me not lie and say, even now, I still feel like we are a perfect match, him and I. But there are certain things within our relationship, certain factors that are making things just to become sour between the two of us. So then we get married. Okay, fine. Those things now start happening full force. I can't work. When I go to work, my legs are jamming. The next thing I'm fainting, and now I'm being told by colleagues that, hey, your granny came and told you that you must leave this job. Now, every second day, he's having to come and pick me up at work. Every second day.
Sure.
2020, we got pregnant. I lost the baby, ectopic pregnancy.
Sure.
So I was at a point in my life whereby I was like, okay, we spoke about it. We spoke about it so many times. And he was always standing firm on what he said, to say that I am not going to budge. I am a child of God, and this is what God says. And if you're going to be doing that, then I cannot be a part of it. Do you know, I tried my level best to bend myself over so that I can be with him and still do what my Dlozi needs of me to do. I even said to him, it's fine, get a second wife. It's okay. We don't have to divorce. Get a second wife. It's fine. As long as you bring her here and I see who she is and I know who she is, then it's okay. Get a second wife. Then he said, okay, cool, I'll think about it. I don't know, I'll think about it. And then I said, okay, fine. And then I said to him, okay, if you leave me in this house, are you going to come and visit me and stuff? Then he looks at me and he says to me, no, I'm not going to visit you. We are not going to have sex. No. Yeah, I'll make sure that you fed and everything, but I can't come into her. So I stopped and I looked at him and I said to him, okay, so how is this going to work? I'm going to be married to you while you with somebody else, and then I must just remain married to you. I mustn't have a boyfriend. I must just stay like that.
How does that make sense?
He couldn't answer me. Then now conversation starts changing to, no, you can't do that, Thula. It's better you die enyaweni zakaNkulunkulu than ukuthi uzinikele emademonini. I asked him a question. I said to him, okay, ngizofa enyaweni zakaNkulunkulu. Wena? Because where I am, I'm trying to cater to you. And the fact that umzalwane. Okay, babe, ngizofa ngithi. Let's say I don't go do whatever I need to do, whatever it is that this is. Okay, let's say I don't do it and I die. Then what? Are you going to mourn me? And if you are, for how long before you get somebody else? Why must I die? Why do I have to be the one to die? Why is it okay that I die? Is nobody going to miss me? Like, you say that so casually. Okay, I get your point. But really now, why would I choose death if at some point there's a way for me to be alive? Like.
So it was a big conflict of beliefs there.
Yes. I don't want to lie to you. Me and my husband, that's the thing that broke us up. The fact that I went I went against him. I did what he didn't want me to do. And I asked him, what did you expect me to do? You were fetching me from work every second day. I'm falling. I'm fainting. I'm this. I'm that. I'm this. I ended up losing my job because I lost my job. I lost my baby. I kept asking myself, what more am I supposed to lose? My life? And then I'm going to lose my life and then he's just going to carry on with his. That time, I'm trying to keep the marriage. I'm trying to keep the marriage now. Because, oh my God, I just recently got married. I got married when? Last year. Like, no, this cannot be happening.
So tell me something. During the time when you guys were still dating, right? Because obviously during the process when you were dating before you got married, he was believing in what he believes in.
Yeah.
And you were also believing in what you believe in, right? Or during that time?
During that time, I wasn't sure what was. I remember when we first got together, this is what I told him. And I couldn't understand why I was saying that though. Remember, I come from a family who didn't deal with this. And now I'm amongst black people and a lot of strange things are happening. I'm dreaming, I'm seeing granny, I'm in water. The next thing I'm waking up, water coming out of my nose. The next thing I'm talking to people and people are crying. How did you know that? Like to me, this was like, oh my God, this is a lot. I dream of something, then this thing happens. Or I talk to someone and someone's like, oh, how did you know? And for me, that was like, oh my word. So I wasn't yet fully 100% sure. But I remember one day when we got together, I told him, when we first started dating, I said to him, listen, one day I'm going to leave. He looked at me and he said to me, what do you mean? I said to him, I'm going to go. And he said, where? I said, I don't know. Then he's like, what do you mean you don't know? I said to him, I don't know. I just feel like I need to be somewhere. Because that's the feeling that I had for the longest time, that I need to be somewhere. But where, I don't know. So I told him, I said to him, don't be alarmed if one day you wake up and you find me gone.
Okay. So has it ever been a matter of trying out each other's beliefs, or it has always been because this is what you are experiencing and this is what he believes in? So that means that it's either you do your thing, I do my thing, or maybe let's try your thing first. If it doesn't work out, then we move to my thing. Did you guys ever get to that point where you're like, okay, together, let's try this Christianity thing of yours and see if it works out. And if it doesn't work out for me, then let's move on to the next thing. Or it has always been, I'll do my thing.
I tried the
his way of doing
yes,
things.
I tried it. I've got a lot of preservations about it. Not that I don't believe in God. It's just I just believe that God is everywhere. I don't need to be in the constructs of four walls in order to reach God.
Okay.
I do understand that praying with people, it's a lot better than praying by yourself sometimes. It gives, when there are a group of people that come together, I do understand that, it works and it works out nicely. But for me, I have difficulty being in a place where I can see you for who you are, but then you're showing a different side. I don't want to lie. I tried the church thing, going to church, and I went with him, obviously, because the church had to marry us. When we first started dating, he took me to church. I went with him to church here and there, but gradually, as time went by, it was just a thing of, go to church, money. I'll see you later. Peace. And he was okay with that. Yes, there'd be days where I'd wake up and say, today I want to go with you to church. But in terms of him trying my thing, no, he didn't. Because my thing was demonic, according to him. My thing was not of God. My thing was, how do you know which Dlozi is calling you? Because you don't even know your parents. He always used to say that to me. And I always used to tell him, Inam, this thing is with me. I can't explain to you how I know, but I know. I wish I could explain, but I don't know how to explain it to you. It is what it is. Like, I don't know. It just is that way. So we spoke about it in depth. Then I got to a point where I started to feel like, okay, maybe he's worried about his assets.
Okay.
That's why he's talking about not divorcing and everything. So I said to him, listen, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go, so it's fine. Let's just get a divorce. I don't want to lie. That's what I said. I said to him, let's get a divorce. I won't take anything. Just release me so that I'm tired. It's becoming too much for me now. It's becoming too much. Because it was a thing of now, I walk in the shower, I open the tap, boom, I'm falling in the shower. Now he has to come there, try and resuscitate me. It was draining. On top of half of the time when I'm sleeping, seeing hojas now walking all over me, things trying to grip at my feet. It was too much. So I just said to him, listen, let's just get divorced, because clearly the second wife thing is not going to work. I don't want to be sitting at home gathering dust while you out there living your best life with some other woman. Solo mina, I'm sitting there saying, my husband, but you're not coming to visit me. All you do is just send money. And where's the connection?
Wait, let me get this right. Eh? So after you guys figured out that the marriage is not working out because of the clash in beliefs, right? Excuse me. Hey. Yeah. I must drink a hydro quench, ne? Yeah. So after you guys seeing that this marriage is not going to work because of the clash in beliefs, you decided to go your separate ways, right?
Yes.
But then he has found other people that maybe they believe in the same things.
No.
Okay, cool. Let's not include other people. But now, are you guys better in terms of your standing in your beliefs when you're apart? Because clearly, when you guys are in one place, like whether you are saying that to you, going to church or this and that, it's not demonic. But for him, you doing your things,
it's demonic.
Meaning that it causes friction within the relationship. Mm-hmm. So meaning he can't be in the same house with you with this that you come with, which is demonic to him, right? Mm. Which is a development that came during the course of the relationship?
There were signs. There were always
Yes.
signs. And we spoke about it on countless occasions, even when we went to go and do marriage counseling. And it was a thing of, okay, no, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
And then we got there.
Okay.
And then we didn't cross the bridge. We just took a hammer, smashed the bridge, and said, nope, we're not going any further. This is where it ends.
Okay. So now when you guys are separated, are you able to now freely be yourself and deal with your own spirituality without, for lack of a better word, I'll say a hindrance, you know? Because clearly if he's not believing, if you guys are not together in one accord, you're not believing in the same things, the other one seems like the enemy of the other one's belief. He's doubting and questioning everything that you do. So now with him being, if you guys are going to now be separated, before you even get a divorce or anything like that, are things better?
Are things better now? Yeah, for me, yes. I don't know about him though, because we haven't spoken in a long time. Him and I, we are, you know that passive aggressive fighting, that fighting where you're like, I'm calm, but you know deep inside you're not calm. You just want to smash everything. Yes, that's where it's at right now. How did it end up there? Okay, fast forward. I went to Pehlweni, right? Ekuhambeni kwami, I told him, because I was supposed to go ukuthi ngiyokhuphukisa isithunywa. I told him I'll be gone for 7 days. Wangiphelezela. Kahle nje kamhlophe indoda. Then I went. Before I left, I said to him, listen, here's 10,000. Carry on with the businesses and then just send me okuncane during the months so that, nami I'll be able to buy stuff and stuff. He sent the money. Every month he'd send around about 4,000. Sometimes he'd send 2,000. Sometimes he'd send 1,000. If things were better, 1,500. But he was sending money. But that only lasted for 2 months? Yeah, 2 months. No. August, September. Yeah, 3 months. Only lasted for 3 months. Then he stopped. He came, ePehlweni, and then he said to me, I bought a car. I was like, okay, that's nice. And mind you, this is us in the midst of separation, us in the midst of getting into the mindset, okay, when I leave here, there's a possibility I'm going to leave and not find my husband. But he would come, bring me stuff. So I couldn't understand, okay, you who doesn't want to come here to Sangoma things, but here you are, bringing me things, here you are. So he asked me to sign on the car. I don't want to lie to you. That day when he came, I was just so happy to see him that I didn't even check what I was signing. I just signed. And then, he went and he started doing Bolt. And, life had new meaning, I guess, because after that, everything just went to hell. It just went to hell. I woke up one day, red skate. And I took my card. I don't know what made me, at 5 a.m, I took my card. And something just kept on saying, go home, go home. And I'm fighting with this. No, I'm wearing a red skirt, man. I can't go home. I can't go home. I need to be taken, go home. So to clear my mind, I just grabbed my bank card. I'm like, okay, let me just take a walk. Everybody was sleeping. So I went out and I took a walk to the garage. Lord behold, I ended up in a taxi. When I took the keys to my house, I can never tell you, but I had the keys to my house in my hand and I was in a taxi on my way home. I get home, I open. Where do we stay? In that building that he has now built. We went and we stayed there. Under the words, because he told his mom that they need a caretaker at the building, so I'm moving out. Remember, his mom didn't want him to move out. So he had to kind of swindle his way around it. And he said, no, they need a caretaker at the building, so I'm going to go and caretake the building. Remember, he got into a partnership with somebody. So him and that somebody, they were having their partnership. And I don't know how, because I told him, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to know what's going on between you. between the two of you, but that guy was getting the money because he helped build and so forth. So we went there under the thing of he's going to be a caretaker of the building because right now there's no funds to get a caretaker. So his mom was like, okay, cool. Yeah, you're going to go and look after our investment. Then we went and we were staying there. So it's me taking my key. I get home. I open the gate, the big gate. I open our door to our apartment. When I look, I can see that, no, man, this person didn't sleep here. This bed, at this time of the morning, that time it's somewhere around going 6:30, going for 7. Hey. Anyway, I pulled the door closed. Just as I pulled the door closed, it was like somebody being nhlebela la endlebeni. Kokota ku room number 6. I said, hey, room number 6. And this is me literally standing there in my red skirt talking alone. I never need to be benkuluma nedlozi, but to umunye umuntu I was talking alone. I'm like, room number 6. Hey bo. Hamba, hayi hamba uyokokota uyobona. Ngahamba. Please tell me what I find. The first thing, my husband answers the door. Ubani, yo. I don't want to lie to you. Ngakhumula le phaka bengiligqokile. Ngangena endlini ngalanda iphanga. The biggest knife in the house. Bear in mind I'm a cook, so I've got knives. I took the chef's knife. Yabona that knife lay by chop. Thank you. Ngalanda yona. Ngama with the knife here behind my back. That time I'm standing there listening to my whole husband getting dressed. I can hear kalama zip. Zzz. My heart is sitting here in my chest. Not even in my chest, in my esophagus. My heart is beating from there. And I keep telling myself, there's no way. There is no way in hell that is my husband. My church-going husband. My staunch believer in Christ husband. Ngati, no, there's no way. Ngati, no, God, you testing me. And please don't test me because today one will die. And it's not going to be me. One will die. Please, if this is a test, please stop the test now. Because kuzoshuba. He opened the door. Please tell me, what do I find? My husband. That wasn't even the thing that made me go cuckoo. He opens the door. He looks at me. Thula. I said to him, hey, bo. And when I do this, please tell me, what do I find? Girl standing there, naked. Naked. I lost it. I almost threw that. Luckily, he grabbed my hand as I was about to throw that knife at her. He grabbed my hand and then he looks at me. He said, what? Oh, I didn't sleep with her. I said, so you guys were just sitting here naked. Because I stood here full 5 minutes listening to you get dressed. So what were y'all doing? Praying to the good Lord. What were y'all doing? Yabona, that day, my husband, in all the 10 years that we had been together, 12, we've been together for 12 years. In all those 12 years, he has never sworn me once, but that day, he told me to fuck out of his house. Sorry, mind my language, I don't know if
It's over 18. Okay. 18 and above.
He told me to fuck out of his house. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know what you want here. I don't know if that was him now being embarrassed because I was losing my shit. All the neighbors were coming out of their houses now. Even the neighbors outside of the building were coming out, and everybody in the community knows him as this
Staunched Christian Mzalwane.
Bona.
Hey.
Good guy. And because me I was the one who looked like the cuckoo one. And he was forever quiet. He'll leave me to go mad. My foster parent, that side in Ivory Park, even said to me, Thula, you the problem. You. Ukhuluma safuthi mntanami. And I said to her, Mama, there's a reason why ngikhuluma safuthi.
Please buy us extra time. How many minutes extra? our time. Hey, my sister. Hey, my sister. Thank you for buying us extra. Thank you for extra minutes. We appreciate. Yes, darling.
So yeah, my mom was always, she was forever telling me that, yeah, no, you're the problem because you talk a lot, Thula. And I said to her, Mama, what must happen? I asked her, what must happen? Because if I don't talk, then what? Okay, fine. For the first time in his life, he swore me. And I don't want to lie to you, that just defeated me. It was in that specific moment I knew I had lost my husband and he's never coming back. Because he had never, ever used foul language on me in our whole entire relationship. But that day, he was able to tell me to fuck out of his house and fuck off. And that's where everything just went downhill from there. Downhill. I went back to Pehlweni. I didn't tell them what I did because I knew that I'd be punished. I said that I met them along the way. But then I think eventually somebody found out that I went, but they didn't tell Ukobela. I went back to Pehlweni, and 3 days after that, I had to be rushed to hospital. I thank my Gobela because ukhonile ukubona ukuthi no, this child is not right. And angeke simhlohla ngemithi. Because you know sometimes traditional places they're like, hey, mele simnikeze imithi uzoba right. Bese bangakise esibhedlela. But yena ukhonile ukubona ukuthi no, this person needs a hospital. He took me to the clinic. The clinic, they said, no, take her to the hospital. This person is not all right. Her body is showing signs of a nervous breakdown. What happened that morning? I stood up. I was wearing isambatho sam sesonto. I woke up having felt like I want to wear that. And I woke up and I wore isambatho sesonto. And I wanted to go to the toilet. But I couldn't get to the toilet. I ended up just freezing halfway to the toilet. And tears just uncontrollably came out of my eyes. Like I didn't know how to move. I could just stand there. And I just stood there and I cried my eyes out thinking, God, I knew that this was going to happen, but not in this way. To be honest with you, what I expected was for him to wait for me to come out the Pehlweni, and then once I'm out, we take it to the family, we talk about it, and then, do the right thing. But now I find you there in other lady's house. Lady, come with her. Mabel is there, mingi by the door. I even asked him, does she always do that, or she did that on purpose because she knew I was standing at the door? Does she always come to the door naked? He looked at me and he said, yeah, well, she likes walking around the house like that. I'm like, well, nigga, you need to tell her to stop. Because one day, your friend is going to be knocking on the door, and now you mean to tell me your friend is going to see your woman's body parts? That's how our relationship was, his and I's. We were able to talk about it, though, afterwards. And I sat down and I asked him, like, really? Umakhelwane, umqashi wethu, like, really? Out of all the people that you could have gone with, you went with her? Sure. But our relationship was like that. We were able to talk to each other about these things. So I was not expecting that. I was expecting him to do the right thing, wait for me to come out, get out, then we say, okay, fine, yeah, nibonile ukuthi kwenzakale nangithi, amen, go your separate way. Then I go properly. That's what I was expecting. But then again, hey, you see what happens when we expect things from people? We get burnt. I expected, that's what I expected. As his wife, I expected him to do it properly. Angangihlaze ebantwini. Mina ngisephehlweni, he's walking around the whole streets.
Sure.
Then I get out ephehlweni. Fine. Now, I don't have anywhere to go. Because home is not home.
There's somebody else there.
No. Not even. Remember, she was our tenant, so they were sleeping at her apartment.
Sure.
That's why I didn't find him in my apartment, in our apartment. But now, I'm out of Epehlo. I don't have anywhere to go. Because apparently, that's what he said to me. He said to me, when you come, when you leave here, I don't know where you're going to go to. You need to talk to your mom, your foster parent, that side, and see what you're going to do because bomma baret utlo gatella motse. I said, excuse me? And the minute I said that, that wasn't supposed to come out. It wasn't what he wanted to say, but it just came out. And when I said, excuse me, he's like, no, nothing, Yazin. You just need to go and find a place to stay. Mara apparently, bare bomma.
Hey, bomma. Bomma boys.
Anyway, that's why I wasn't welcome back. Fine. I take my stuff, I go to my foster parent in Ivory Park, and I tell her, Mama, listen, this is, and she's also umzalwan, right? Her husband is a pastor. So I asked her, I said to her, Mama, like, I'm unemployed at this point. I don't know what must happen with my life. Then she said to me, you know what? Come home, but please, you can put your things there, but nangelangeli one, you don't burn nothing. You, whatever it is that you guys do, hey, please don't do it. The only thing I'm going to allow you to do is pray. And I said to her, that's okay, Mama. I understand. This is not my home. This is not my house. So I cannot bring my Dlozis here to your house and now start doing my own things. While ubaba wala umfundis. It's going to go against everything. So Mama said, okay, if you can live by that, mtanam, it's fine. You can live while you gather yourself, gather your strength, get your things together. Get a job if you need to get a job until you can move out. Okay, fine. I come out there, and then I hear rumors that no, apparently he's gone because I can't have kids.
Wow.
No, he left. No, the thing is, he went around telling people that he left me because of indaba yephehlo, and people started to look at him like he was crazy. What? What? For that? Hey, well, this person is going to come home. It's not like she's going to walk at 12 inkukhu phezu kwenhloko mos. Uzobuya. Uzozikhumula lezi zinto lezi. So people couldn't fathom his thinking. So now he could see that, I'm losing points. Then what did he do? He went and he goes around saying, I want kids. I'm not getting any younger. As if I'm the one who can't have kids. I was like, what? Then I hear from another granny. Yeah, but if I was hearing this from my age group, I wasn't going to take it to heart because at the end of the day, you know, we full of our own things. Others, that's why they're telling me now. But it came from older people. Older people. This granny now comes telling me how. Yes, your husband was here and he told me that you paid your own lowball. I was like, hey, bo. That granny looked at me and she said, yeah. He said to me, how was I going to pay for it, Coco? Me, I wasn't working. Which was the truth. He wasn't employed, but he had saved money and he paid the lowball. I even said to that Gogo, I can go to my older sister because he paid it at my colored family. That's where I asked him to please pay because that's where I grew up and I felt like that was the right thing to do. So I said, I can even go and ask my sister for records. I've got pictures of his parents at my house. The day they were paying lobola, his mother was there with the Nabantu Basesonto because Ubabake had already passed. So when he says I'm paying my own lobola, like, I was defeated. Like, okay, now you're out there bad-mouthing me. Like, there's so much, and, you know, every time people ask me, would you get back together with this man? I tell them no, and they're like, but Thula, this person, you love this person. I said, yes, but what I realize is that this person, he's not okay. I get right. He's mean. And I even told him to his face, I said to him, you know, I could have dealt with everything, but you being mean. I remember one day calling him and telling him, I don't have nothing. He said to me, sorry, Sissy, you're no longer my problem.
Sure.
And I'm like, Kanti, I was a problem. I didn't know that. Then he moved out with Mokel because Mokel started to get scared of me, apparently. And I don't want to lie, I think I did give a good reason. Because when I sleep, I see, I wake up, she's going with the Uber. Then I'd send her a message. It was like I was getting updates every day. Go to sleep. She doesn't take the taxi anymore. Then, because I took her number, I know her. So I sent her a message. I said to her, listen here, Nana, because she's a kid. I said, I'm 10 years older than her. So I sent her a message. I said, yeah, listen here, Nana. Don't think that you getting my husband to pay for your Bolt to get to work is going to save you. Like I think I went through all the stages of, I don't know if I can call it grief, but yeah, I went through all the stages because I mourned my marriage. I am happy that now I'm at a point where I can talk about it and not cry anymore, because before, just the mention of his name would bring tears to my eyes. And I asked myself, what am I going to do now? Because I'm counting one. I'm too old to be going back to that lady's house and going and living with her. 2, I said I'm starting a life with this person, and now this person seems to just have abandoned me. Like 3, I'm unemployed. Like, how am I gonna go about it? Where do I start? Where do I start? Where to from here? So I was angry, and I used to send her messages. I sent her a message saying one day, you know what, you think you smart. Don't think I don't know where you work. I know where you work. I do. I know where you work, and you taking a bolt is not going to help you. Because if I really want to mess you up, I can, and I will. So she started getting scared, and yeah, she took my whole husband and went and moved with him to Joburg. They're living their best lives in Joburg now.
So my sister, you actually catalyzed the situation. You
Yeah,
made,
understand.
you pulled them closer together.
I put the super glue there. And now I'm thinking to myself, his mother didn't want us to move out 2 houses away. Now he's all the way in Joburg. I remember telling his mom, going to her and crying after I found that lady there. You know what she said to me? I told you don't move out. You moved out. That was her basically saying to me, soon. I went to the church and I told the pastor, Mamfundisi nomfundisi ukuthi ngithole lo muntu lo sona so. Uba mfundisi wabamba inhloko, umamfundisi wangibheka athi mara uyazi mawushiya indoda. Ngambuza question ngathi mama, so what are you telling me ukuthi ku right ayenze kanje because ime ngimshini? Ngambuza. Angisho kanjalo mntanami, but uyazi amadoda ngithi mama. No. Uba mfundisi wavele wabamba inhloko wathi yo.
Sure. Hi, Sissy. Yeah, hectic stuff.
It's a lot.
And unfortunately, we don't have, today, we're not going to be able to finish. But I want you to tell me where you are now.
Where I am right now, I'm fighting with him. Sure. Because I left home, right? My mom's house. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a misunderstanding, me and my siblings. So I was like, okay, no, as in, for the sake of everybody, let me just leave. I called him, I said to him, listen, I can't stay anymore, we're having conflict. Oh, mama, she went back to the Makayas, I'm left with her kids are, there was a bit of conflict with one of her daughters, and I was like, no, I can't. So I called him and I said to him, hey, listen, I can't live here anymore. Ngempela Shem, he came. Even now, even up until this day, if I can call him, he'll come. He came. And then I explained to him, this is the situation. Then he said to me, okay, cool, I'll pay the rent. Okay, sharp. I'll pay the rent and I'll buy half food. Other half you must see for yourself. Okay, sharp. He did that for all of 3 months. Then he came back with divorce papers saying to me, I must sign those divorce papers. This is his exact words. I can't pay the lawyer and pay your rent. So you remember the agreement we made before you left to go ePetlweni, Guti, you're not going to take anything? Yeah, here's the divorce papers, please sign, and then I'll carry on paying your rent. When I look at them, I'm thinking, I said to him, okay, cool, I'm going to take it to my lawyer. He got mad. Then he stopped paying my rent because I said to him, but I can't just sign a document. And even that day when I left, he made me sign something. And this is what makes me angry. He knows that I am in a tight spot, and he's using those tight spots to his advantage. When he came to pick me up, when I first moved out, he said to me, sign this and then I'm going to give you all the furniture. Because I had nothing. I literally had nothing else.
How long ago is this?
We're talking last year.
You went there last year?
No, last 2022.
Okay.
Then I came out 2023. No. I went 2022 towards the end of the year. And I spent 8 months at Epetlweni. And then I came back last year, April. Yeah, around about 8 months at Epetlweni. And then I got back last year, April. And then, this is what's been going on.
Okay, I just have one question for you regarding your trip, Epetlweni, and coming back, right? how would you say, and I'm not talking about the marriage, I'm talking about you as a person with your spiritual, warfares. Yeah. Let me just call them spiritual warfares because you've been fighting and struggling with so many things for so long. After you came back, how has things been like for you on a personal level?
On a personal level, days are not the same.
Okay.
I'd be lying if I said that they bad. No, days are not the same. I'm grateful because as much as this man abandoned me, it gave me a chance to get to know my Dlozi. Okay. It gave my Dlozi a chance to show off to me that, hey, we here. Even though sometimes you have that doubt of, is this really me? Hey, we here. Let's show you something. I remember one day biting my nails, asking myself, how am I going to pay rent today? I was left with 20 rand. I took that 20 rand and I went and I bought a Hollywood voucher. And that day, within a space of 10 minutes, I made money for rent, 1.7, and money for electricity, and money for food. And I sat and I looked at that phone and I said, yep, because you guys have my back. And that's what I told myself, that as long as they've got my back, never mind about the rest of the people that are here. So that's why him and I are now having this fight, because he wants me to sign papers and he doesn't want me to take them to the lawyers. He's saying to me, yeah, but you agreed to it back then. Why are you changing your mind now? I said to him, listen, my nigga, it's been 2 years. I've been sitting doing nothing. That was me hoping you'd come to your senses. But you're not coming to your senses. Instead, you're making life difficult for me. You said you were going to buy. I even have documents to prove. We even went to the police station for him to sign. He said he's going to buy. He said to me, okay, fine. I'll buy you a house. Don't take the building. Don't take the businesses. And I don't want to lie to you. I was never there to begin with. I was in it because I loved him. And I wanted us to build something. Even now, the building is like, because I know it's going to come with its own issues and stresses. But a part of me is like, no, man.
But in all honesty, my sister, you deserve half of, if you guys were married in community of property, you deserve half of everything that he has. And you don't have to be apologetic about it. And if it means it has to drag because you must find a lawyer, even if it's a legal aid lawyer, if you can't get one that you need to pay, then so be it. You deserve everything, that half of everything that this man has. Unless if maybe you have said or you have signed somewhere beforehand that if you signed a prenup or something like that.
No, we didn't sign any prenup. One day I walked in on him talking to his mom about the prenup, about a lawyer. His mom was trying to get him to get a and I had come back from work and he was talking on the phone and he had it on loudspeaker because he was busy doing something on the PC. He scrambled so fast to switch that phone off. And I just looked at him. And I thought to myself, wow. And this was before we started having the issues that we had. And I'm like, yo.
Oh, well, a prenup is not a bad thing to sign, but if you guys didn't do it beforehand and now you are here, then you deserve half of everything that he has worked hard for.
I just feel like it's going to come with so much. So even today, coming here, like, and you know, and I even told Kanye that I don't know why, but I sat yesterday and the first person that came to mind was him. How is this going to affect him? And I said, stop it. I literally hit myself on the head. I said, hey, this guy, wherever he is, he doesn't know what you're eating. He doesn't care if you've got lights. He doesn't care if you've got food, if your rent is paid. Yeah. Girl, and here you are sitting once again worrying about him.
Sure.
Kanjani, when are you going to worry about yourself? So that's where I'm at now. I'm at that point of, okay, fine. I'm going to do what's best for me. I sell acha. Thank God for that. And that's one of the ways that my Dlozi shows off with me. When it comes to food, food is my thing. I enjoy cooking food. I enjoy watching people. Like I can literally cook something and sit, not eat and watch you eat. Cooking makes me happy. Food is my happy place. Whether I'm eating it, whether I'm cooking it, whether I'm watching somebody else eat it, I'm happy. So, you know, I applied for the grant. Thank you, Daddy Ramaphosa. And then when the money came through, I went and I bought some acha. Thank God to my sister also, because she was like, hey, girl, why don't you sell acha? Because she sells clothes and stuff. And she's like, why don't you sell acha? And I was like, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I did. And I don't want to lie. On the first day, the acha went like nobody's business. So I'm selling acha now. I provide my acha to the small Indian shops around there. And then also to certain shisanyamas, because I make a chili acha as well. So to certain shisanyamas, I sell my acha there as well. And one thing that I am working on is myself. Because I realized that, I had so many hopes and dreams in this life, but then I got married and I got a boyfriend. Well, let me not say married, because we were together even before that. But I had this person in my life, and somehow my whole life ended up revolving around making him happy, making sure he's okay. And I neglected myself. So now my main focus is looking after me. If you stress me, I block you. Sure. If you come at me sideways, I block you. Whether you're my mother, my sister, even my mom, I blocked her. And now we're okay now, me and mom. And she's like, okay, unblock me. I said, no, moms, you're right there in WhatsApp jail. Just 2 minutes in Yana jail. We good, me and you, but stay there in WhatsApp jail just a little bit. Because the last thing I need is another long message coming from you. Thank you, mama. But no. So that's what I've told myself. Anything that stresses me, I do not want it near me.
Yo, Bazalwan,
I think that's our cue to cut, hey? Shame.
Okay, wait. Before our cue to cut, the last thing, very, very last thing, the lessons to the people out there who are watching this. What is the one thing that you would like them to learn from you? Then after that, we are done. That's your camera. That one day, tell them.
To the ladies, I want you to remember that in this life, you matter. You matter. Whether he's there or he's not there, you matter. You matter to your kids. If you don't have kids, you matter to your family. If you don't have family, you matter to your dog. If you don't have a dog, your next door neighbor probably does think about you from time to time. You matter. That's what I want you guys to always remember. No matter in anything that's going on around you, you matter. To the guys, I want to ask y'all politely and nicely, can we try to be better? Can we try to do better? We, as women, we are not here to pressure you, but we are here to multiply whatever it is that you guys bring. If you are bringing me hardship, I go multiply. And it's going to be worse. If you're bringing me happiness, I will multiply. And it will be joyful in our... Please, guys, try. Try. Tell her you love her. You living with her doesn't mean, okay, because I live with her, then she knows. It matters. The kiss on the forehead matters. That nonsense of you always out there with your friends every weekend, it's not cutting it. She matters. And if you don't make her matter, somebody else will. It is what it is.
Amen to that. Thank you so much, my darling. Where do the people get a hold of you when they want to get your acha?
You can find me on TikTok, even though I don't sell my acha on TikTok.
You should start selling on TikTok. You should.
You know, my fear with that is this, though. People from Pumalang and everything they might want. And how do you paxi acha?
No, it's fine. Just make it, just localize it. Let the people know even on TikTok that I sell acha in this specific area.
Yeah. So I do sell my acha as well on you can find me on TikTok. On TikTok, I go as Enlightened Soul. On Facebook, I go as Thula Dlamini in brackets Mkhulu Mavio. Yes. I don't have Twitter because I don't understand how it works. And what else do I have? My socials, it's TikTok. Oh, yes. And then on WhatsApp. So for the acha, I do it locally in and around Ivory Park, Midrand, Clayville side. So, yes, I do deliver there. I'll leave you guys with my number. But please, guys, I beg, call if you want acha only.
My sister, you're still young.
No, I don't have the heart for love anymore.
Okay, that's fine. Leave the number for Acha only.
068 205 2223. So that's 068 205 2223.
Okay, and with that being said, siyabonga bazalwane, thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one. God bless you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Signing out.